Hello, good morning everybody. Today's our topic is parasite. Simply mode of infection and the control of protozoan parasite, that is the entamoeba, giardia, leishmania and trypanosoma. Already we have discussed about the plasmodium. The life cycle of plasmodium is digenic. The host are two. Simply we have dwell upon that. Now we have discussed about that the entamoeba. Simply observe this diagram. If you have observed this diagram, how many hosts are present there? Simply, just if suppose you have observed there is only one host, that is nothing but the human beings. Okay. When the life cycle is completed in one host, then it is called as the monogenic. If suppose more than one host are present, or the life cycle of animal or the parasite, life cycle of parasite which is completed into the two hosts, then it is called as the digenic. Simply, when we have observed this life cycle of entamoeba histolytica, we have clear that this one is the monogenic. This called life cycle is the monogenic. The host is nothing but the human beings. So, if suppose there is only one host for the completion of the life cycle of entamoeba, then how it comes inside the body of the human beings? How it comes? If suppose you have observed that they have comes through the ingestion means through the oral route. How it is comes? Through the contaminated food and water, because of the unhygienic habits. They have come inside the body, intake of contaminated food or water with fecal matter and containing the entamoeba. Simply because of that, the unhygienic condition, that entamoeba histolytica cyst comes in contact with that food or water, and then it comes inside the human beings, that through the oral route. When it comes, it directly goes into the digestive system, and particularly entamoeba which is present into the large intestine. They are present in this in the lumen of large intestine. They are effect on which? They have effect on the simply digestive process, and when they have effect on the digestive process, ultimately when they are present in the lumen of the large intestine, they have entered into the submucosal wall of the large intestine, and ultimately there is the histolysis is occur, cytolysis is occur, and because of that, ultimately in the fecal matter of that patient there is the some cells are present, immune cells, and also the because of that there is also the mucus are present, and ultimately it is goes, that is called as the amoebic dysentery or the amoebiasis. This is because of the entamoeba histolytica, and ultimately this symptom, that disease is called as the amoebic dysentery. The second one is the giardia. Again, you have observed that the life cycle of giardia here is the simply you can observe that there is only the one host. If suppose there is the one host, then the life cycle is monogenic or digenic? Life cycle is monogenic. The host is nothing but the human beings. How the mode of infection is occur? Again, there is no another host is present, so simply it is comes inside the human beings through the contaminated food and water, because of the unhygienic condition, unhygienic habitat that comes inside the human body. Intake of contaminated food or water with fecal matter containing the giardia. Again, when giardia it comes inside the body of human beings, it is go through the oral route, it goes into the digestive system. So when it comes into the digestive system, again there is the nausea and vomiting and headache, then also the effect, and also the liver also. Simply they have effect on the digestive system, that is called as the giardiasis or the diarrhea. Next one is the leishmania. This is the life cycle of leishmania. If you have observed that life cycle of leishmania, simply there are the two hosts are present. One is the human being and second is the sandfly. Means the life cycle is monogenic or digenic? Life cycle is digenic, because more than one host is present, because of it is called as the digenic. Means when the parasite which is completed the life cycle more than one host, then it is called as the digenic. The host has Simply, one is the human being and second is the blood-sucking sandfly. That particular genus, that is the Phlebotomus, which belongs to the Phlebotomus species. The mode of infection by the biting of infected blood-sucking sandfly. The disease which is called, that is the Kala Azar, also it is called as the Leishmaniasis. When they are entered by the biting of blood-sucking sandfly, then it goes into the blood circulatory system, and particularly they have enter into the spleen. Enlargement of the spleen is occur, enlargement of the glands is occur, spleen and liver especially is occur, and that Kala Azar, that particularly the origin of this word, that is the Indian. Kala means black, Azar means nothing but the sickness, so that is called as the black sickness. Also it is called as the black sickness because of the darkening of the skin is occur, and because of that is called as the Kala Azar. The next parasite is the Trypanosoma. In case of the Trypanosoma gambiensis, again this is the life cycle of the Trypanosoma gambiensis. If you observe that how many hosts are present, one is the human being and second is the tsetse fly. So again the host is life cycle is the digenic, because more than one host is present, then simply it is called as the digenic. The host is man and tsetse fly. That is particularly the genus name and the species name is the Glossina palpalis. How the mode of infection is occur? Simply by the biting of the infected tsetse fly. The disease which is called as the particularly which is present in the African area. When they have entered into the blood circulatory system by the biting of infected tsetse fly, they have entered into the blood circulatory system, then sickness is occur, that is the irregular sickness is occur, irregular fever is occur, and from that blood circulatory system this Trypanosoma is enter into the nervous system and particularly cerebrospinal fluid. When they enter into the cerebrospinal fluid, ultimately in the regular interval, that patient goes to the sleep. When it goes to the sleep, and ultimately one day that in this disease, the death is occur. So until today there is not a recovery, because when they have entered into the cerebrospinal fluid, then there is not recovery and only the death is the fate. So there is the first unit we have completed. Thank you very much.